speaking of my career, we recently crowned our first ever NBA 2K20 legend. Who was it?
Was it Chalk DF, Poor Boy Sin, Hank the Tank, or Red?
Well, no doubt, David, he is one of the best. Thank you. Now let's take a moment to check out our race for Rookie of the Year. Here are some of the top young talents in the game who will be recognized as the best of the best. Not in the top 5 currently, but he's amidst some terrific talent nonetheless, and there's still plenty of time for him.
And we've really got a tremendous group of rookies this year. It's going to be exciting to see them vying for the coveted award.
Well, I tell you, the depth is really impressive when you look at the quality of these rookies, just as you said, Greg. And they all will be trying to make their name in the NBA. Your rookie year can say a lot about who you are as a player and what you're made of.
A look at the starting group for the Magic. We've got Harden. Frank Kaminsky is out there with Adams. Then it's Chris Paul. And it's House in at the small forward. And for Indiana, they've got JaVale McGee. Fournier out there with Dragic. Then it's Taj Gibson. And it's Ingles in at the 3. Now here's Paul over Dragic. Pulled the shot a little left, but the bounce goes his way. And early in the season, Clark, rotations getting settled. How important do you think it is to have players who really embrace their roles on that team?
You know, I think it's a combination of accepting and embracing your roles, really relishing what it is you're to do and to star in what your particular role is, and finding that out oftentimes is a work in progress even throughout the season.
And probably managing maybe some disappointment if you aren't in the role you thought you were going to be in.
Well said. Exactly right.
Great teamwork punctuated by a strong finish.
That is the perfect fast break, guys. Getting a hoop before the defense can get set.
Now here's Fournier. He's coming off a 10-point game against Brooklyn. Count it. Good.
Yeah, the clever Frenchman. Fournier solid at recognizing when the defense isn't covering one of his teammates.
Paul passes to Harden. Magic working now with the new shot clock. Launches it. There's JaVale McGee with the rebound.
You know how good a shooter he is. It's frustrating for him when he's not able to knock down that kind of wide open look.
Fournier dishes to Ingles. Pass to Gibson. Uses the glass to finish the layup.
Boy, you've got to appreciate the passing there. Results in a great look.
Orlando, they've gone 2 for 4 from the field so far today. Here is House. Ingles covering. House kicks to Harden. Buries the long-range jumper.
You know, a good percentage of Harden's points come from beyond the arc. He works extremely hard to find the space he needs on the perimeter.
Knocks it loose and taken away by Paul. Harden outside. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. And that's now 6 points for James Harden. Ball against Dragic. Passes to Fournier. Just 5 on the clock. And the pass to Ingles. Indiana needs to get a shot off. From deep three-point range. That shot off. And Orlando the other way now. This game coming on the heels of their win against Toronto.
Mental toughness on the road. The arena was rocking, but they just got down to business and never let up.
Well, you know, it takes character, poise, toughness to win on the road, and that's exactly what they showed last game.
And a chance for just a second to check out the scoring breakdown for the Magic.
You know what, guys? It looks to me like they're really in sync here, all on the same page. They've already got a bunch of assists.
And also defensively, they've been able to cause some turnovers tonight, and that also builds confidence and gives you momentum.
The first free throw is good.
And you can't say Indiana didn't work the ball last year. Top 5 in field goal percentage.
Yeah, you know what? It was a combination of things, and I'm a little biased having my roots with the Pacers, but they consistently made the extra pass, the next pass, and they had veteran finishers as well. They were as fun a team to watch in the league for me.
And so he makes both from the line.
And we talk about trying to manufacture points. The Magic a year ago were last in the league in free throw attempts.
And I think a part of that, guys, is they really don't have enough creators, facilitators, playmakers. You need guys who can break the defense down and then make plays for themselves or others, and that gets you to the foul line, but it also gets you easy baskets.
Now here's Paul. After the miss from Goran Dragic. To the left wing, here's House, and it's good off the back rim and in.
They've wasted no time settling into their offense.
Yeah, they're lasered in. I mean, really making the most of their possessions.
They need a good offensive possession.
Yeah, they've gone a long time without a bucket.
So timeout called here, the first for Indiana.
You know, as good as the Magic were defensively last year, they were just as challenged offensively. Struggled a bit at that end of the floor. Only 24th in the league in points.
Now a chance to see the NBA leaders in steals. Number 1, Chris Paul.
Defensively, his intensity just never drops. You match that up with his incredible timing, and you can see why he's atop the list.
Down low, here's Fournier. Good work defensively by Harden.
And not allowing the shooter even an inch of breathing room on that one.
And guys, that's exactly the kind of high-impact defense they want to see out of him.
Here is House. He had a 12-point outing in their last game against Toronto.
And a lot of those points came at the free throw line, really because of his aggression. He was playing the game with force, always catching his man on his heel.
Here is McGee. Steven Adams making his last shot. Right side Fournier. To end the cold streak, and the layup good by McGee. McGee's got his second bucket tonight.
And, you know, with his size and presence in the post, McGee has a lot of value on the offensive glass.
Harden against Fournier, the 11-footer, and it's off the back rim, no good. Pacers trail by 10. It's blocked, and so it looks like the Pacers will retain possession here. And so here is Indiana. Pass to Ingles. Back to McGee.
Yeah, really like the defensive focus and intensity at the start.
Exactly. Nothing easy. They're making them work just to get into their offense. Very disruptive so far.
Here is Paul. Following the basket by JaVale McGee. Paul passes to House. Adams dishes to Paul. And here is Kaminsky. 9 points last game. Count it.
That's their third straight make off an assist.
Dragic looking for an opening. Paul with the steal. Here's House. Ingles with the rebound. Pacers trail by 10. Kicks to Dragic. Pass to Fournier. Poke loose. Back to Dragic for three. Bangs home the trifecta.
And he likes to get in a rhythm early. Nice triple.
And it's Harden with the ball for the Orlando Magic. Ball outside. No good on the three. For Indiana, they've gone 5 of 12 from the field since the opening tip. Outside Fournier. Here's Dragic, and Adams sends it back. Ball against Dragic. The three from Harden, and a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. And it's 13 points for James Harden. And the Pacers call time here. They're coming off that win against the Nets.
And it was one of those games where it was just hard to get anything going. And you could see frustrations emerge.
And you know what? Even though it was a frustrating night shooting the ball, they found a way to get it done and pulled it out. And a win's a win, and that ultimately is all that matters.
Ends up with a new group on the floor. Orlando also making some changes. Hernan Gomez is checked in for Kaminsky. Caboclo comes in for Daniel House. And Emmanuel Mudiay subbed in for Chris Paul.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Passes it to Harden. Adams taking his time here. The pass to Harden over Hardaway. And the rebound goes to the Pacers.
You know, no matter how you feel about James Harden, you've got to respect his love for the game. I mean, he absolutely lives and breathes basketball, and that passion has driven him to become the player he is today.
Mudiay with the ball. He's a good contributor to his team, averaging about 10.5 points a game. Adams outside. Puts up a three, and James Harden hits from deep. Harden's got 16 points. And Clark, last year Harden was quoted in saying, most players don't really love basketball.
Well, I don't know about most. That seems a bit extreme. Maybe he feels that they don't love it as much as he does, which certainly you could understand. But I can say that very few players have the drive and determination to improve their game the way Harden has. That's part of why he's been an MVP.
Pass to Mudiay. Got a hand on it. One-on-one here. The 17-footer. And there are the Pacers with another bucket.
Oh, an excellent situational awareness from Hardaway Jr. that time. I mean, he seems to know exactly where to get when the break is on.
Now, here's Mudiay. No points in the game yet for him. Harden finds Adams. And oh boy, a lot of contact there, but he gets the call and will shoot two. Analytics, Clark, are such a major factor for coaching staffs and scouting staffs, and plenty of micro-analysis to go around. But some statistics can actually be a little bit misleading, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree with you, Kevin, and you can torture the numbers to say whatever you want them to say, so you have to be careful. I think there's a great place for analytics in the game. It's very useful in some areas, but you have to balance it. There has to be a blend there. Take, for instance, shot blocking. Just because you don't block a shot, that sometimes can dismiss what changing shots do to a team's defense or for a team's defense. The number of threes being taken. Effective field goal percentage is more important than raw field goal percentage because of threes.
The Magic making a switch here. Ennis is checked in. No good on the second free throw.
And talk about teams that pressure the ball. Indiana, top 3 in steals the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, and I think that's attributable to the coach's mentality. Nate McMillan was aggressive as a player. He's aggressive as a coach. And, you know, McMillan averaged 3 steals a game one season in 1993-94.
Here's Adams following the score by Indiana. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession.
Let's see where the Pacers are, Kevin, in terms of the NBA rankings right now.
Here's Moutier. It's tipped.
They've been beating them to a lot of those loose balls and rebounds here to start.
Yeah, the half and half balls are going their way, and that's really a function of effort and intensity. You know, the ball doesn't discriminate. Whoever goes and gets it, that's who owns it.
So it's Orlando now. The Pacers making the shot. Pass to Hernan Gomez. And too long on the shot.
The shot's there for him, and he's got to take it. I don't care if he doesn't convert. That's a shot he has to continue to take.
Hardaway goes in. No good that time. Orlando leading by 5. Caboclo, the pass to Adams. A putback. It's good on the putback.
And those second chance points really become almost like bonus points when you can get them.
White the pass to Hardaway. Kept alive by Indiana. Here's Rab. Outside, White. Just 4 to shoot. From the arc. Out of bounds, Orlando takes possession. And now you see the 2K leaderboard. Not only have these teams caused a lot of turnovers over the last 10 games, but they've scored off them as well. The Magic in second.
Just a terrific job over this stretch of forcing turnovers and capitalizing. They'd love to continue that trend.
Bradley's checked in for Adams. Here's Moutier. 2 points. That one goes.
That's a textbook example of how to move the ball. Boy, you got to love that action.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
Fernando, the pass to Knox. The offensive rebound, Rab, and that one is stuffed right through.
And when he's on the floor, offensive rebounding is always going to be a strength for them.
Greg, he keeps so many possessions alive, doesn't he?
And you know, those second chance opportunities can be game changers. He represents so much value to this team because of what he does.
Moutier against White, passes it to Knox. It's deflected.
They've been sensational on the backboard to start this game.
Yeah, sensational is a really good word for it, Greg. They're tearing it up on the glass.
Displaying intensity right off the opening tip, especially on the offensive end.
Tell you what, forget about easing into the game. They came out with guns blazing.
Here's Knox. He's been quiet so far. Still no points in the game. Lets it go from the baseline and nails it. Here's Bradley. They have a 9-point lead. Launches a 3. And it's out of bounds. Last touch by White. Here's Bradley, and the last shot before the buzzer is off. James Harden getting it done for Orlando. He nailed it from long range in that quarter, winds up with a total of 4 3-pointers in the period. And we'll be back with you shortly. James Ennis played in Australia, Puerto Rico, the G League. He talked about his NBA journey and his goals.
Just to be a rotation player. I know I got better. I know I worked hard to get here, to stay here, and just be able to knock down the shot and a three. I want to shoot the ball 40% and above.
And with the importance of the three ball nowadays, Greg, a great goal for Ennis.
He possesses length and athleticism on the wing, and if he can reliably knock down the triple, he's a consistent rotation player in this league.
And glad to have you with us, folks. Second quarter of basketball. This game has not exactly been neck and neck, but plenty of time left in this one. And when you consider how the Magic are doing, what do you think?
Well, this is the edge that great rim protection can give you.
Yeah, you know, you have a guy in there blocking a bunch of shots or multiple players blocking shots. It causes the offense to think twice when they go up for shots in there.
This is how the floor looks for the Magic starting the second. We've got Emmanuel Mudiay. He's out there with Avery Bradley. Ennis out there with Hernan Gomez. And it's Caboclo in at the power forward. And he knocks down the first one. And Greg, when you evaluate Avery Bradley, the offense isn't what it once was, but the defense is certainly still there.
Yeah, Bradley has struggled with the scoring in recent years, but defense, that does not go cold. Still a menace to ball handlers, and his reach and length can suffocate perimeter players.
And so Bradley nails both of them.
You know, the Magic last year, they hired Steve Clifford as head coach. He's known for his defensive systems, and they allow the 5th fewest points in the league, and they're 6th in block shots. So defense clearly much improved for them.
Dishes it to Mudiay. Now the pass to Caboclo. It's Bradley on the wing. Shot clock at 6. That's tipped. Outside, Simmons. It's stolen by Ennis. And now it's Bradley running. He can go all the way. Hernan Gomez passes to Bradley. They shoot again. Hernan Gomez. Great positioning on the putback. Hernan Gomez has got the lead up to 13 now for Orlando.
That is really good work there on the offensive glass.
White drives in. He had Simmons atop the key. Pass to Knox. 6 on the shot clock. Here's White. Misses the 3. The Magic also had the personnel to have a great defense.
You know, you really have to have athleticism and length to be a really good defensive team, and then the willingness to play at that end of the floor. Clifford inherited a roster with that kind of makeup.
Now here's White. Pulling the miss by Avery Bradley. Here's Fernando. Hernan Gomez grabs the miss. Hernan Gomez has got 5 rebounds tonight. It's Bradley on the wing, guarded by Simmons. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up. A lot of smart guys playing in the NBA right now, Clark. Any that you spot that could be a great future head coach in this game?
There are so many of them, Kevin, when you spend time around guys and watch how they carry themselves on the court. Usually you look at point guards because they're quarterbacks and coaches on the floor in many cases. CP3, I don't know if he has a desire to coach, but he certainly talks and feels the game as a coach. And Mike Conley, I think he too has the type of cerebral approach to the game that could lend itself to coaching.
That's an excellent starting list. He's off on the first.
And didn't have a single free throw in that first quarter, but he started to play with a little bit more of an edge to his game here in the second.
Here's what Orlando's going with right now. Frank Kaminsky, he's checked in for Caboclo. Daniel House comes in for James Ennis. And Paul's subbed in for Mudiay. And he's good on the second. And the Pacers with possession here. still looking for their first basket since the first quarter. Their last meeting was in Orlando, where they were unable to fight off the Magic.
Yeah, and last time out, they sort of shot themselves in the foot with the foul trouble. That was what led to them having such an ugly scoreline.
And Greg, the foul trouble was a big chunk of it. I mean, it's hard to mount a comeback when all your key guys, your main players, are watching from the bench.
Magic leading by 14. Inside, and finished off by Hernan Gomez.
Boy, the floor awareness of Chris Paul. Gotta respect that. I mean, whenever one of his guys is open, he's getting the ball to him quickly and on time.
Now, here's Fournier, still getting warmed up offensively. No scoring yet from him. Dragic kicks to Simmons. Pass to Fournier. Clock at 6. Shot to stop the run, and it's good on the way in. Fournier's got his first 2 points of the night.
Boy, you've got to corral Fournier on these pick and rolls. I mean, he just knows how to pick the defense apart if you don't.
Passes it to Bradley. Floats one up. A second chance effort. Hernan Gomez goes up and lays it nice and easy. Hernan Gomez has got 8 points.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
Well, listless and lifeless at the defensive end. I mean, especially inside. They've really got to pick up that interior defense.
Let's go now to the sideline and catch up with David Aldridge.
Well, Kevin, last season the Magic broke a 6-season playoff drought. Nick Vucevic was the franchise's first All-Star in 7 seasons. It's been a long rebuild from the Dwight Howard era. We'll see where the team goes from here, but Kevin, they're happy to just be playing games that matter night in and night out.
All right, thank you very much, David. And the basket by Kaminsky.
Every time they get scored on during this run, it's come from inside the paint.
Outside, Dragic. Back to Simmons. The pass to McGee. Indiana moving the ball around. A fader. Rebounded by Kaminsky. Kaminsky's got his 5th rebound right now in the game. And a little luck that time, but it drops. House has got his 2nd basket of the night.
Assists like that have typified their effort today. Terrific ball movement.
Really a prime example of the difference in how these teams have operated offensively. Much more individual play at the other end.
Now here is McGee. 6 points for him. Ripped away. Here is House. He's guarded by Fournier. They blow the whistle just as he gets it off. That's 2 points with a chance for another one at the stripe.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
And even under pressure in close, I think they've still done a good job maintaining concentration and converting the opportunities.
The Pacers making a change here. Gibson's checked in. Orlando also making some changes. Adams, he's checked in for Hernan Gomez. And it's James Harden in for Avery Bradley. Free throw drops for House. Hey, Clark, the NBA moved the presentation of the MVP award to after the conclusion of the final. You like that?
Yes and no. I think you have 2 separate awards. You could have a playoff MVP or a finals MVP, which we have. And then you have a regular season MVP. The MVP is for the body of work done during the regular season. I think there should be a clear separation between the two, quite honestly. So, no, I don't like it.
At least you're honest, Clark.
Well, part of their game plan was to block out the noise and just stay focused.
And what's been impressive is that it's not been any one player. It's been a collective effort, contributions from everybody.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. You gotta like what Harden has done in this game so far.
And he is absolutely dialed in from outside. They need to close out on him much quicker when he's lining up those threes.